Alright, how's it going, everyone? My name is Aaron Blades and I am the owner of Legacy Barbell Club. If you're new to the channel, we are a gym located out of Indianapolis, Indiana. We are a semi-private 24/7 gym that has powerlifting equipment, sauna, turf, basically anything and everything that you could want, from a normal gym goer to a competitive powerlifter or Olympic weightlifter. Today what I'm going to do is kind of give you a little bit of our journey from our first location into our current location and then what's to come moving forward. Alright, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about how we opened up our first location and kind of the whole process and what we did in order to grow from our first location into our current location. So to start this all off, in 2020 was when my brother and I started our business. I had just graduated from college. It was in the middle of the pandemic and I was looking for a full-time job. I started working out of a commercial gym, not local to Indianapolis, but I started working out of a commercial gym. It was not my favorite. Learned a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I wasn't really happy with. An opportunity presented itself. I made a connection in college at Butler University where I was able to come up to Indianapolis and start my own personal training business. There was a gym that was renting out space to personal trainers. And so we had decided that the best course of action was to go up and start that business in the height of the pandemic, which was interesting. So we started it off. We had a few connections here and there of clients and things that we were getting. Had a few of that, but like I said, it was very slow. It was in the height of the pandemic, but I did take on a couple of other part-time jobs during that time, so I was working all the time. We had decided that after about 6 months, personal training was not really the route that we wanted to go at the time, and so we had a couple of investors come to us and say that they would invest in a gym for us. It was a small private 24/7 gym that we had wanted to open. So we started that process in March or April of 2021, found our space, and then moved into the space in August and September. We started work on it, and then October 1st was our first day that we had opened up for business. Space, which I'll show kind of a picture of here, was about 3,500 square feet of just gym space. So that didn't include the small locker room and the very small bathroom and the office that we had. It was probably a grand total of about 4,000 square feet when it was all said and done. So when we started off, it was basically a handful of pieces of equipment. We had one deadlift platform, 3 squat racks, 2 benches, and then one piece of equipment per body part. A couple of benches that we had that were adjustable that we threw in there, some dumbbells, and that was pretty much it. That's what we opened up with. So October 2nd was our first day. We had an opening day. We hired marketing outside of ourselves to market the opening of the gym. It did not work out, and by the end of our opening day, a lot of it was just family that showed up, but then we had 2 people, and they were both friends that my brother and I found, that signed up. So after the first opening day, we only had 2 members that were signed up. So it was very frustrating starting off, like I said, especially if we're putting money into marketing. It was very concerning. It wasn't going to work out, but we didn't stop there. So we had our staffed hours, and I also had my part-time jobs as well outside of those times. And we just kept posting on social media. We kept optimizing our Google search engines, things like that, and we started gaining members here and there. And we ended off the year with, I don't even remember, probably 20 or more members. And then around that time, there were a couple of trainers that were looking for a space to train their clients and utilize their own business in a specific gym. It wasn't working out at another location. So they asked us, and we were like, yeah. For us, it did a lot of things. So it helped with covering our expenses. They were paying us rent each month to be able to utilize our space. It helped gain us a little bit of exposure from their clients or just people that they knew. And it really just got our name out there. So we started doing that with a couple of trainers, and then over the course of the time, of course, we were adding pieces of equipment here and there. We got hooked up with some people that do powerlifting competitions. We work with USPA as of right now, USPA Indiana. I know there's a lot of controversy that surrounds them. We've had nothing but good time spent with the people who organize those meets, and we do a lot in terms of putting stuff together, and so a lot of it is on us too, in terms of how the meets are run, the types of people that we bring in. So like I said, there's a lot of controversy surrounding the organization as a whole, but I can tell you that the people that we worked with through Indiana were some of the best. So we've had no issues as of right now, but we do look to bring in other federations here and there to start hosting some of their meets. So we started getting in with them, and then got on their schedule for hosting powerlifting meets. And like I said, over the course of us getting members, anytime that we would have some extra money coming in, we would say, okay, hey, let's buy this piece of equipment. But we really tailored it to our members and what they were kind of looking for. So things like different types of bars, more plates, upgraded pieces of equipment that we had, so different machines being upgraded to better quality ones. Those were nice because we could almost do like an even swap with how Facebook Marketplace worked, and we just kind of got lucky with some of the stuff that we found. And then once we started hosting these powerlifting meets, we also started investing a little bit more into that kind of equipment. So combo racks and specialty bars were the two things that we got. We always wanted to do calibrated plates, we just never had the space for it, because like I said, we were 3,500 square feet, so we were shoulder to shoulder. But over the course of the 2 years that we were there, we, like I said, slowly but surely started adding equipment, things that members wanted. We had a whiteboard that we would put out into the gym, and as new members came on, we'd be like, hey, what is something that you would want? And so they'd start to tell us, and then we would find a good, either budget friendly, or we would invest the money into getting a good quality piece of equipment. So like I said, it was kind of slow starting off. It got us really discouraged here and there, but with other gyms not being 24/7, and we were, and other gyms closing around the area, the more people that we got, the more exposure that we got, the more people that started coming in. And so we slowly but surely grew. We didn't really have, like I said, we had a handful of connections in the area, so it's not like we were very well known coming up into Indianapolis. So that's one thing to keep in mind whenever you do open a gym. Even if you do have a lot of connections, or even a handful of connections, not everyone is going to utilize your services, your product, whatever it is, which is fine. We are totally and completely fine with that. Just be cautious that it's still going to be a slow process, even if you do have all of those people coming over and utilizing that kind of stuff. So like I said, we slowly but surely grew, and we got to the point where we had a couple hundred members, and it was time to move. We had like 3 or 4 trainers, we had a couple hundred members, and for 3,500 square feet, we were shoulder to shoulder, and there were a lot of other things we wanted to offer, we just couldn't do. So in around March of 2023, we started looking for another space. Our lease was up at the end of the year at our current space, which was a retail space that we had, and we had wanted to expand into the vacant area that was next door. It just didn't end up working out for us. So when we started looking, we were looking at retail spaces, we were looking at warehouse spaces, and we ended up finding a warehouse space that was double the size of what we were currently at. And it had a lot more opportunity for a lot more services that we could offer, and a lot more things that we could do with the space. So we finalized that, and what was awesome about that was that we had doubled the size, but our expenses had come down because we were paying a lot out of pocket for a retail space. But it's nice now that we're kind of in a warehouse situation, and our expenses went down, which was good for us. It was just a smart move all the way around, double the size, less to pay, all of that kind of stuff. So we made the change, and around September of 2023, we moved our entire gym from one location to the other. And that we started 8 a.m. on a Friday, and we went all the way until about 3 a.m. on a Saturday. moving all the pieces of equipment. So we had a lot of equipment. We also had a lot of flooring that we had to move over, and some other stuff. So we did all of that. And then once we got over into the new space, we realized we had double the amount of space. So there were a couple of other pieces of equipment that we found on Marketplace that we added into our arsenal, like a leverage squat, a better hack squat, a lying leg curl, an incline bench press, those types of things, and calibrated plates. So we have bumper and steel as of right now that we have added into the space for our Olympic lifters and also our power lifters. And we also added turf and a sauna. So our sauna is a 4-person infrared sauna, and then we also have turf, which is 2 strips of 30 yards worth of turf. We added all of that because people were really looking for those types of things to use sleds on. Sauna, obviously, which is kind of nice for warm-up purposes or even after your workout, something like that. So we added both of those on there. And then we also brought in a physical therapist, massage therapist, and a nutritionist who all utilize our space to promote their businesses and to utilize their services, which is super nice for us because it makes us a full self-service type gym. Anything and everything that you could possibly want is out of the gym. We still have some other things that we want to add, but we were able to do that now that we had a bigger space. So from there, because of all those additions, we started adding more and more people, and then we still kept our 24/7 access, which was nice. And now we had garage doors too, which was super cool, as opposed to our retail space. So we could have our garage doors open. Just gives a whole different vibe and a whole different feel. It's definitely been a lot of hard work over the course of the past, I would say 6 months, but it's been a lot from the beginning. It's been a lot of hard work and a lot of stressful days, a lot of ups and downs, but it's definitely paid off. So yeah, like I said, in about 2 years, it'll be 3 years this October, we went from a small 3,000 square foot space to now a 6,000 square foot gym space, just dedicated gym space without all the extra bathrooms and all of that kind of stuff that we've added. We can attribute to a lot of local gyms either closing down or things not working out with other people and people just wanting a change. And we attribute that also to just our philosophy of making and catering our gym experience to our members. We also have a couple other things that we do different in terms of cancellation policy. We let members have access to the music, those types of things. It just changes the vibe, changes the atmosphere in the gym itself, which are things that we highly recommend. I'm not a business owner by trade. I'm not a gym owner by trade. I didn't have that experience when I left college, so it's been a learning curve. It definitely has, and there's been a lot of things that I've done wrong. There's been a lot of things that I've done right, but it's been nice because I can look back on it and say that I built something that grew into a place to where it's self-sustaining. I don't have to be here at all hours of the day making sure things run efficiently. And a lot of people love the atmosphere and love the place, and it's just become a home away from home for a lot of people. So our plans for the future, I've mentioned in a few videos, but I'm going to mention here as well. We look to expand this location and reach a membership cap. A lot of other gyms don't really do that, but we want to reach a cap to where we can make sure that our cleanliness rules that we have established in the gym are still followed. People are not waiting for hours on pieces of equipment so that they can utilize it. We want to do all those types of things, but still make sure that expenses are covered, people can get paid, those sorts of things. So once we do that, I would look to open most likely 1 or 2 other locations. I've looked into trying to expand this one. We may do that as well, but as of right now, I think we want to branch out and go into other places that are looking for gyms kind of like us. With the equipment that we have, with the 24/7 access that we have, and with the atmosphere that we've cultivated over these past couple of years. So we want to do that, and then we don't ever want to be a chain. We want to have a couple of locations and just kind of call it, but we do want to be a place that you're going to pay a little bit more than a commercial gym, but your experience is going to be that much better, and we want to be able to help out other small businesses that relate to health and fitness and all of that. So trainers that want to utilize our space for services, massage therapists, physical therapists, nutritionists, anything and everything. We want to be able to have those people come into a space that they could work their small business out of, because we know that the rent and all the other expenses that are incurred with them opening up their other space or even going into different spaces is a lot. So we want to be sure that we can offer a space for them to not only grow their business, but to call a place home, and to where they feel like they can do whatever they want in terms of having their own business and not being micromanaged. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, enjoyed the breakdown, kind of the story from opening until where we're currently at right now, be sure to like, subscribe, share it with a friend, share it with a couple friends. Definitely want to utilize this channel to not only kind of show you the good things about owning a gym, along with adding some other stuff here and there, but we do want to show you the drawbacks, some of the stuff that you're going to be doing on a daily basis. It is not all sunshine and rainbows every single day, just like any other job. So we want to be able to show you the ups and the downs of owning a gym, what it takes, all of that kind of stuff, and hopefully you enjoy, and we will catch you in the next one.
Nothing